Hey guys, I'm going to go over the shift in the bull market that's been happening, especially with Journeys Together, and what that means for the future of the sets that are going to come out. I think that a lot of people have heard some of the parts of these information, but they haven't really connected all the dots together. And so I'm here to kind of paint the whole picture for you. Because there's a lot of factors that you'd have to keep up with YouTube channels, know about distribution, know about the history to kind of see where we're going, and I'm gonna go with that. So this kind of started because there's the big thing was the mismatched sort of hype versus the prices. So as far as I could tell, like yes, we've gotten finally the cards like a week or two ago that are going to be enjoying together more or less. So we have more of a sense of what's in it. But in general, Journey Together wasn't or isn't really a hype set, and that's a big factor in this. Like, there's no one saying, "Oh, I can't wait to open Journey Together. Oh, that card looks really good." Yes, there's collectors or whatever who will say that, but just compared to the more recent sets, like was Journey Together as hyped as like Surging Sparks or Prismatic, literally the last two sets like being released? No, it's not. Like, if you ask anyone, "Hey, is Starting Together is hyped like as much as people want to open it?" I know that Prismatic has like bad pull rates, but as far as like people want to open it, they wanted the Moonbreon, Eevee Evolutions, wow, it's the next Evolving Skies, and even even Surging Sparks was compared to Evolving Skies, like wow, this is such a great set. Look, and yeah, there's a lot of traditional things in those sets. Like Surging Sparks has the Pikachu, it has a bunch of legendaries like Latios, Milotic. It has like a lot of really great cards, and people say yeah, it's probably like the best booster box set of Scarlet Violet, as at least at the point of release. And then Prismatic, as much as some people like it or don't like it at the moment because of pull rates, like Eevee Evolutions, everyone knows Evolving Skies, everyone wants to get on that. So yeah, but for Journey Together, there wasn't that much hype except for one thing. So there was news like a while back about a Rocket set and a Gym Hero set, and I think that this is pretty much confirmed to be based on a Gym Hero set. But it's not really the Gym Hero set that everyone kind of expected. So people expected um, Pokemon going back to retro things. So these were the original Gym Heroes artworks, and so a lot of people want to see the nostalgia. Like there's a lot of nostalgia aspects of 151 that people wanted, and so like yeah, even like I grew up around this era, and I would actually want some of these. Like, if they created a set that was based on Gym Heroes, I'd actually want some of those too. Like I remember these; these were the original gym leaders. But what we got instead was the more modern things. Like it wasn't really it was sort of the modern gym heroes or modern characters or whatever. And it's just like, it's not as connecting to me. Um and like I'm not saying it's like a terrible Zara. It's just like compared to the hype of everything else, it's like shouldn't it be worth less than like Surging Sparks or whatever or Prismatic or whatnot? Prismatic is still double MS3, but that's not the best example. But it's like I wouldn't necessarily want to pay based on just the cards. I don't know if I'd want to pay like $200 for a booster box because booster boxes are selling for about 200 to 240 on that like open market. I've been checking the eBay sold listings, and yeah, this is the case. It's like 210 a box. Um, it's like 210, 240. Like this is about 195. That's more expensive. That's Yeah, I'm not gonna do the math on that. That's like 240 or something. But yeah, like booster boxes are selling quite a bit, and like this hasn't been released yet. Um, and so it's just a sign of like, again, what I'm gonna go through of the things to come. But like, it's more expensive than any other booster box in Scarlet Violet, except for Surging Sparks. And I'm just like, would I rather pay for a Journey Together box or a one of these old sets? And honestly, I kind of want one of these old sets, especially since I know that I can get cheaper. But like Paldea, I might want Paldea more than Journey Together. So why is like Journey Together like so much more expensive? And like especially Surging Sparks too. Like okay, the caveat to that is that I want to acknowledge that yeah, I do see that the Surging Sparks in Japanese the because I'm trying to compare apples to apples a little bit. The Pikachu, which is a chase, is like $200, and this Clefairy is like $500, and this I don't know is 279. So yeah, it's possible that it is actually worth the hype and stuff. But the thing is that these prices for booster boxes and everything else has been the same since the release. Like I've been tracking this and like I've been like, yeah, it's kind of boring. They've been $200 the whole time. So it's not like we knew about all these cards and we knew the pricing and the prices were those amounts. No, they've been this all along. Like maybe they should have gone up, but they've been about the same this whole time. So what gives? Like that's why I say like you can't really use this information right now because like it's been that way the whole time. So there's obviously a shift before that. Okay, now to go over some of the shifts. So let's see. I said that joining together is saying a new normal, and it's because of a lot of moving pieces. So one thing I have a list. I'll just go in some of the order of the list. So one thing is local gaming store behavior. So one of the reasons why joining together is so expensive is that MSRP is the new norm, and MSRP is actually the discount kind of. So I'm on Pokene, and he's one of the sellers, the one LGS seller, is saying that he's no longer doing like pre-orders until he gets his allocations. And for those of you who don't know, like for these LGS stores, like Pokemon will tell them how much they're giving them, and then and then they'll sell it, but they don't usually know those numbers until like closer to release day. So a lot of them will like estimate or guess or set pre-orders, and then they'll be like, okay, I expect to get like 100 booster boxes, so I'm gonna set pre-orders for 100. But with the all the supply changes of Pokemon, they've been getting less than expected, and so like what happens is that they'll have to cancel pre-orders, or also they'll also price the box too low. And so like if the market price ends up being like way higher, then they're actually losing money or something. So sites like Pokemon, like Pokene, will like they're trying to sell MSRP and respect that, but other sites they'll try to go for the markup price. So either way, like in general, LGSs are waiting longer per pre-orders, and they are selling for MSRP or above. And MSRP for a booster box is still pretty expensive. Um, but yeah, like this is just one example, but there's more people. So it's basically raised the floor price of booster boxes. So it's just sort of like since it's the floor price and MSRP is the new cheap at like 160, and actually after taxes it could be like 170. Then like a 200 booster box does make sense because you're just like, okay, well it's like if you didn't get the pre-order or whatever and you missed out, then you get buy price 200. So that's why during together, even though um, the boxes weren't necessarily as there wasn't as much hype around it. Like the boxes are just more expensive than like almost every other booster box of the era. Like it's even getting close. It's even like being like Sword and Shield boxes. Like um, let's just use the 127 prices. But you see how like sure some of these are bad sets, dark displays, whatever. But like it's close to like an Astral Radiance and Silver Tempest booster box, and like those are things that you are certain they're not going to reprint. So but you're paying so much more. So a lot of this is like yeah, like it's easy to say it's just hype, but there's like actual moving pieces, and that's why I meant like this is the new normal. Um, where do you get your booster box from? You get it from um, a big box stores, which I'll go over in a second. You get it for LGSs. LGSs are no longer willing to sell for MSRP or for less than MSRP for the most part. I've seen some people sell for like 140 or something, but that's very rare, and they'll sell immediate anyway. And the new normal is like close to $200. Is it actually worth $200? I don't really know, but yeah, since MSRP in Scarlet Vi has been raised to $161 a booster box, like it's just 200 is just so much easier to get to. Um, yeah, and then like as far as sentiment changes, actual things that we've seen as far as sentiment changes. So Pokemon started selling out. Surging Sparks was saying a new normal at its time where everything was sold out by about release date. I remember like you could still get a couple of things, like maybe like bundles or whatever, like before release day, or maybe direct blisters. But at about release date, everything was sold out because people were starting to see that Surging Sparks was like getting really hyped. And this was the set like there was mixed reviews. Some people were like, "Oh, it's gonna be the next Surging Sparks," but it the people didn't believe, and therefore Surging Sparks like back then to compare allocations for LGSs, you could get it for like $100, 120 pretty easily. That's like so cheap compared to now. Like if you told someone that they'd buy as much as they can because they could sell it later on. Um, yeah, Prismatic sold out. They had the PCTBs. That was the only product I remember they had first, and they had it for like a couple hours, and that was even limiting per two people. And then joining together, I actually like was asleep or something, and I missed out. But I think the timing was like maybe an hour or 2 or 3 hours. I need someone to confirm, but they had way more product. They have four products. They sold out everything, and like, yeah, these booster boxes sell, like it's been the first time that you've seen booster boxes sell that quickly. Like Surging Sparks, you could get for a while, even after release because MSRP wasn't the thing. Like, but everything sold out. Like these, some of these things people don't like to buy at these. Like people don't like buying um booster boxes at this price at all usually, and they're just like, well, the sentiment is like there's no other way, and it's probably gonna go up. So it's just like a money thing. Okay, so what else? So I talked about LGS. Okay, so another sentiment clear thing was, so I'm gonna look at Prismatic. So Prismatic, as hyped as it was, like people were like Eve Evolution of All These Guys, like there's so much hype around it. It was available pretty easy at MSRP for like a week. I remember because I was debating whether I should buy it, and it was like, oh, it hurts to buy ETB for $50, right? You look at market prices like $100, 110 for Smack ETB. They didn't have like they had like the ETB, the poster, the text stickers. And I was like, oh, should I just buy? I actually remember what I did. I was like, oh, should I buy? I actually bought like a case of these, a case of these, and I was like, oh, should I just buy like these poster collections because they're cheaper per pack? And like, I was like, oh no, like it's like anyone would want these prices now. Um, but back then it was like that was the sentiment. It was like, how do I be frugal? How do I save money? Now it's like, okay, let's pay full price because like full price is still a good deal. Um, and yeah, so that was a sentiment change. Like I remember like GameStop, I think Best Buy. Best Buy, I don't have the listing like that, but yeah, they had these available for like a week that you could get it for MSRP, and then like that quickly changed. And then I saw other stores. Yeah, I could get Prismatic to some extent for lower prices for some time, and like they're up for a longer time. And now the same stores like I missed the Journey Together drop, and they're all gone. They were above MSRP anyway. Okay, so yeah, Journey Together, like everyone's just like so aware that like I need to buy it up, and there's no other way to get it cheap. There's no the tricks are running out. LGSs are no longer willing to sell. Um, and big box stores they sell it instantly anyway. Like there's no the tricks are running out, so people are just buying when they see the price. Okay. Um, and then as far as like the danger of the future, like okay, so I told you that Gym Heroes, like this is not a Gym Hero set as far as like people expected. People expected where's the retro Gym Heroes? They expected this. I think we have a Brock in the set, one card, but we didn't really get what we want. But there's another set that was very hyped for the future that hasn't been released, which is the Rocket set. So, and that seems to align a little more with the retro in the past. So it literally says Glory Team Rocket. If they make it not retro, they could with like newer Team Rocket. But yeah, there's some stuff about like there's no dark Pokemon or no Rocket Pokemon or something. But either that, this seems like more of a um, possible actually good set that people actually want for nostalgia reasons. And like that's just speculation because I don't really know what cards are in there. But like as long as the theme is more aligned, because like this versus what we currently have is not aligned like at all. People did not necessarily like ask for this. Like they do like the trainer stuff with the Pokemon, but yeah, they kind. I think a lot of people really wanted the original Gym Heroes. So yeah, Rocket is going to be more crazy because it's actually going to be more real demand, like more like things people actually want the set. They don't just want it because it's expensive. And so like I think Rocket's going to be like even crazier, especially if we see some good cards. If there's bad cards or they if Pokemon mess something up, sure. But like I told you, like LGSs are no longer willing to sell it really cheap. Big box stores are going to sell it instantly. There's no tricks to get cheap stuff anymore for the most part, and yeah, this is the shift we are in the market. Um, is there anything else I missed? I think that was pretty much everything. Like, this is the shift. MSRP, like Pokemon. I made a video how like Pokemon Center is so smart, which got a lot of views. So you could look at those other things of what other strategies are doing. Like they're strategically putting out product at times that make people FOMO, and it really is working. Yeah, that's it for today's video. Like, watch out for this market shift. Rocket, it seems scary. Um, and yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Bye.